Oh, what a day. What an absolute day. What a day. What an absolute day. Oh, hello everybody. How are you all doing? Alright, let's run some trains. Let's see what I've got running today. Oh, come on, really? Really? Fine. I'll review the Mark 5s for you. Let's get this over and done with. Oh, hello and welcome back to the railway. They're here! Yay! Finally, the Accurascale Transpennine Express Mark 5As have arrived. About time. I mean, they arrived better than the real things, I suppose. If anyone should know, it's going to be me. So, I've not yet opened these yet. So this is going to be an interesting experience. Let's have a look. What first impressions? This box is huge, and the box that came to my door was even bigger. It was like 8 times the size of this. Seriously, like you could put a small child in it, I suppose. So let's have a look. Let's open the lid and see what we've got. By the way, ignore all the mess on the workbench. I had to clear a lot of space just to get this on here. Well, so the top of the box lifts off. It's quite a nice box, quite solid. Ooh, foam. Ooh. We'll just put this out of the way. Just pop that down there out of the way. So we've got a nice foam insert in here. Nice and protection. Hornby, please take note. What have we got in it? Oh, hello. Well, hello there. Sound like Joe Takai. Takai. Look at them beautiful things. The Mark 5As, or Nova 3s, as TP likes to call them. So we've got the drive-in trailer at the top, which is the DT, and then all the T1s and T2s and T3s and stuff like that in here. Which not many people know about. So they're in plastic, they're like plastic kind of cradle kind of thing. That's kind of nice. Gives a nice protection. You can see there's some like plastic layer over them, like protection layer. So that should be nicely protected. So let's lift this insert out and see what we've got underneath. Oh, this is nice. So we'll just place the models to the side. So we've got some additional couplings to couple to the 68, and then we've got an information booklet. Oh, very nice. What does this tell us? Well, it tells us which way the train goes round, the driving trailer, the T2, the T3, the T3 again, and then T1. T1 is the first class end, by the way. That's this one with the silver door at the end. That's the staff door. So, DCC decoder fitting and body removal. A DCC decoder can be used... A DCC decoder can be used to control the driving trailer headlights. I'm no English person. Well, I am English, but I'm no English major, but I think that's a little bit... needs a little grammar check there. Anyway, so it shows how to remove the body. Wow, breakdown of all the parts. That's pretty impressive. There's a lot of little parts in this. They even put the little doors in as well, in between the galley as well. I think those are the galley doors. Are the galley doors, or they're the interior doors? Not too sure. I'll have to have a look at that. Anyways, lots of parts, lots of different parts, shows you all the parts and gives you a breakdown of them all, which is nice. More parts. Oh, it's by a coach. Look, so we've got the DT. They've got the DT, and you've got the T1 coach. You've got the 2T. We've got the T2 coach, which is technically a T3, and the other T3 here, and a little bit about the lighting, which is not too bad. So a pretty nice little information booklet. A nice photo, which is taken at York. Is that's the Scarborough train? Is that on platform 3? Well, between platforms 3 and 4. So that's not too bad. That's a nice photo. And then we've got some foam underneath as well to protect it. Anything under the foam? No, just another box. So we'll put this down back into there, along with those couplings to keep them safe, and we'll move this just out of the way while we actually look at the proper carriages. So they've got this plastic lid on, carriages underneath. So let's remove this plastic lid and see what we get in the packaging. Is this sellotaped down? Yes, it is. It is sellotaped down. Aha. So at least we know that the top is secure by some sellotape, just to make it so that the protective cover does not seem to come off, which is pretty nice. We've got 2 at each side. So that's a pretty neat little feature that we've got there. And 1 each at the top, so it's nice and safe and it keeps it all together. That's really cool. I like that. Keeps it nice and easy. Put our knife away. Take the top off. Oh, so one thing I've noticed is that on the top we've got these little white bits here and up there, around on the windows, just to protect the windows and the bodywork, which I do appreciate. So what's this at the top? Let's have a look. Ah, this will be the magnetic coupler device, which couples them and uncouples them together. So we'll have a play with that later. So I'm just going to take out the DT, the one at the very top, to start with, and have a look at this, see what we've got. So it's in like a little plastic sleeve to protect the paintwork from scratches. Let's have a quick look and see what we can find on this. Oh, there we go. Oh, now that does look rather nice, doesn't it? So in there you've got the front cab with accurate controls, I'm going to say. From what I can see, I don't know how well you can see, but it's very accurate controls. Looking through the windows there, you don't know if you can see how well that's going to focus on the camera, but you see we've got the blue Transpennine Express seats, and we've actually got the tables in there with the little grey band around the edge, which they do have on the Mark V's and the new livery. The livery itself is pretty spot on. You can see that we've got the Transpennine Express logo nicely clear. We've got all the underframe detail. And this would be classed as Coach A. No destination boards on this one, but I think we have to add them. So overall, pretty impressive. There's the very front of the model. So you've got your brake pipes and all that. Looks like you could put one of the couplings in there to insert the coupling, which is nice. Yeah, you've got your brake pipes, you've got your calf levers, and we've got sprung buffers. Sam's trains would be so proud. And the nice Transpennine Express star on the front. Pretty impressive, I kind of like these. If you look very closely on the doors, even the door numbers and the open and close buttons are represented in a fair manner. So yeah, impressed. I am impressed with this carriage. Let's just pop that aside. So what have we got in here? We've got what looks like a little windshield I think that's for the front. I think these are destination boards. What do they say on them? So I'm not sure how well this is going to pick up on the camera, but we've got some Scarborough destination boards and some Liverpool Lime Street destination boards. And here at the very front, not sure how well you can see that. That does say Scarborough on the front. So it looks to me like we have a couple of set destination boards. So this train can either be going to Scarborough or Liverpool Lime Street. But it'll be going to Scarborough. So lifting out the next carriage. Now that's an interesting thing to note. The destination boards are per carriage, so this goes with that, and those are for the DT. So I'd have to take it out one at a time and then fit the boards per carriage. So this is the T1, so this will be the other end of the train. This will be the first class carriage, which is technically carriage E. One thing to note is that all this detail on the back here, we've got the little porthole, we've got the two little buffers here, and the emergency stop light, which is under there, which we are trained to turn on if the loco ever attaches. There's a little switch inside here that does that. We've also got this here, the little EPS here, that's the EPS mains power to the carriages. Fun fact about the EPS, if that is disconnected, your hand dryers, your air conditioning and your toilets will not work. Neither will anything in the galley. But it will keep the essential safety systems on board. One thing I do like to note is these little under here are not 100% accurate, unfortunately. Now, this here is the staff door, and that will open and slide back to about here. However, these are actually slightly to the one side. Depending on the unit, they're either left or they're slightly right. They're not actually in the centre of the door. So you have to kind of negotiate your way down them. They're a little bit of a pain, I've done it a few times, but they're actually to the left or to the right. They're not in the centre of the door. But I can forgive them for that, because that's a staff thing to know. Otherwise, I'm impressed. I've just noticed there's little fans under here, that's kind of cool. Even though you're not going to see it, it's still an added bit of detail. That is cool. Otherwise than that, I'm rather impressed, to be honest with you. It's a very good visual and just a good representation of the Mark V carriages. I mean, I've been working on these trains for nearly 4 years, so I know what these carriages are like. I've been up close and personal with them. I've been down at track level with them, so I can guarantee that I'm looking at all of this down here and it is correct. I've worked them to and from Scarborough, I've worked them over to Liverpool Lime Street, I've worked them the entire distance. I know what these are like. So I am rather impressed with their representation. I think Accurascale has done a really good job of these. They've done a really, really good job. So instead of looking at these three down here, because these are pretty much all going to be the same. In fact, actually no, I think I will look at one of these, because these are pretty much all more or less the same type of carriage. Well, more or less. Let's have a quick look. Oh, that needs to go back in there. This is coach B. Yes, B. B for bikes. So I remember it. In that section there's a little bike storage area. A little bike storage area. And just trying to look through the window. Can't really see that well inside, but it looks like they've replicated the bike storage area here. But no, this is coach B, so this is one of the middle-ish carriages. It's pretty decent. You can see the magnetic couplings, how they work. Yeah, impressive. I like them. So let's get these on the railway, see how they work, see how they run. But overall impressions, very, very good. Very happy with these. Well worth the wait. few minor tidbits like the ladder not lining up on the T1 as perfectly, but I can deal with that. That's just a minor detail. I am enjoying the quality, and I am liking the undercarriage detail as well. I think they've been a really good representation of our Mark 5.8s. Right, let's get this train attached up, get the 68 going, and have a little bit of a running session, yeah? Well, there we are, boys and girls. They're all lined up at the station. There is one thing that I am noticing though. The very end carriage, oops, just got that into focus over there, is buzzing at me. Now, I know that needs a DCC chip for the lighting to work, but on analog, it buzzing, not that great. But I will say one thing, they do look fantastic on the layout. And they do look really, really nice. Although my layout, you can't fit it on all the way. But not that bad, to be fair. So that means only one thing. Well, we've got the carriages. Nothing to pull them. I think we need to rectify that situation, don't we?